Hey everyone, Kane here. In this video we will go through unit ranks. For the purpose of this video, we shall assume there are 4 unit ranks currently. R, SR, SR Plus and SSR. The reason for that will be explained later in the video. We shall start with our unit ranks. They are considered the weakest units in the game. Something that many think is a complete waste of resources. However, some units are quite strong very early in the server, and if you keep improving them, they will be average or stronger than some SSR units until the game receives many more updates. Many probably would assume I am trolling, or lying or anything similar. But our units can be made 6-star fairly quickly. As well as the fact they increase your roster by a reasonable amount. Thus raising most of them does not seem like a waste for the long run. There are many who didn't raise our units in my server. And I have raised 2 in my formation to 6 stars and I am not regretting it one bit. Since I went with Infernos. Imp and Gog are my R units. Many would say Imp is one of the weakest tanks, however, to me, he does his job pretty well. He has more magic resistance than damage reduction. He can revive squad units as they die, which in a sense makes him a little tanky, in terms of surviving longer. Gog, she is a good unit if your front line lasts a long time, her firewall does incredible amounts of damage. Since I have Demon, Dendroid and Imp, the front line survives long enough for her to be able to do 2 firewalls and most if not all the time she is top 3 damage for me, keeping up with my SR units at 6 stars. And if you are facing a crack hack formation, this unit does incredible amounts of damage as her firewall covers usually 3 grids in a column, so she damages 6 units at the same time. However, it does not cover most factions. Some factions have weaker R units, so you cannot compare and say all R units can be made good. For example, pikemen, they are not good in many formations. But I made them decent in a formation where pikemen plus cavalry made to explode 1 unit as the fight began. It only worked on some tanks plus cavalry. The Walking Dead, a unit that has overtime slow aura, is the best synergy for ranged plus Jellu formations. It is the most reliable slow currently in the game. Yeah, there are more units that can slow, but this slow comes into effect instantly as it reaches the target units, instead of needing to wait for the trigger to pop. Any other R units are either for specific synergies or one-offs for events. SR units. Probably most of them are currently the strongest for most of us, as they are easy to be acquired, easy to be upgraded to 6 stars. I cannot really say which of them are overpowered, as each hero can be acquired, upgraded differently. And it all depends what early units you receive and what factions you always focus from the very beginning that will make you strong. I have chosen Inferno as my faction and I can pretty much say, I do not regret it. Fun faction, many effects on screen. Most if not all units have area of effect skills that do damage or buff most units. This comes to play when enemy has to make decisions who to focus. Since there are many variables on when Inferno units trigger skills, whereas many other factions are more likely to be predicted. This only concerns Duel of Champions, as everything else is just auto. SR Plus units. Many do wonder why I added the plus towards it. The reason for that is the way the units can be acquired and upgraded. Many SR units require Shadow Steel, the purple material, but a few of them per faction require Dragon Steel, the yellow material. And some, the only way you can upgrade their rank, is only through boxes with shards, buying chests with selectable shards as shown in the picture, or spending Dragon Steel in the barracks. So they can only be upgraded very slowly. Again, this does not work the same way for all units, however, considering the ways some units can be acquired, some shards are more valuable than others. Going back to the boxes with selectable units. You can see that you can pick 80 shards for specific units. You can see Dendroid 80, which would turn into 8000 Dragon Steel. But, you can acquire Dendroid shards in Underground. There is a stage for them. so it loses a little bit of the value. Cyclops is a unit that currently has no farmable stages in the game, meaning the only way you can acquire their shards is either the altar or archery boxes, and only after that barracks for dragon steel, the yellow resources. Which means, if you get a box with shards to be chosen, and you are stronghold faction focused, Cyclops shards are the best for the value of the box, as this gives you so many shards towards a unit you cannot farm to upgrade. This again varies what factions you do use. If you do not use Stronghold and Cyclops in said formations, the value drops immensely, and shards only to be picked towards units you do need. But when you get selectable free shards, try to focus for units that are hard to be acquired. Some SR units that require Shadow Steel, purple material, they have 2 stages in underground to be swept. Those SR plus units mostly only have 1 stage. Some can be purchased through shop, like Ifriti. It also has a stage in the underground around the level 70. Thus it drops the value of the unit and not worth to use Dragon Steel on it. In the same faction you have Pit Fiend, who also needs Dragon Steel resources, but the only way you can acquire her shards is only 1 low level stage in underground. I personally sweep that 4 times, buy additional attempt and sweep 4 more, plus spend all Dragon Steel on her. And even after 40 plus days, she is still about 140 shards from 6, with quite a few units of mine already being 6 stars and 300 plus shards added into potential. And hands down, Pit Fiend, if she lands her skill she is the best healer in the game, currently. Even with Genie out here, Pit Fiend literally heals about 40% plus of my demon's HP in a few seconds, and my demon is insanely tanky as you can see in this picture here. SSR units. Shards for these units, you cannot acquire them very easily. The further the game will go, the easier it will be for them to be acquired. As of making this video, the only ways to acquire SSR units are either by high VIP, to get Dark Knight, Battle of the Gods rank top 8/top 4 to get Dark Knight and Green Dragon, regular altar, but that is a huge waste of diamonds as it is random. Specific unit altar, which is usually 15,000 diamonds per 1 SSR unit. So you will need to save your diamonds if you want that 6-star SSR unit. As well as when you reach the max level cap, you can buy Dragon Blood Crystals, the red barrack resource for SSR unit shards, for a total of 200 shards for SSR units. So that is something to look forward to. Current rank of SSR units, I personally would rank Devil at the very top of the SSR list. Hands down best SSR unit there is currently. No other unit scales harder than Devil. From 3-star to 6-star, more or less this unit will do probably around 4 times the damage, and that is something I am saving for and looking forward to, as well as Zeren to upgrade it to Doombringer. Bring forth a second Devil onto the field. In terms of other SSR units, I would say currently Angel is the second best. Following that, Giant may be decent in the future once there are more 1x 4x units being used, not as effective against 9x units currently. There is no point in focusing a SSR tank. It does not reap rewards as hard as something that does damage, which makes you score higher in events such as PvE events like Dwarf, Crypt, Trial of Angels, Dragon Invasion and many more. Sure, they will help you survive a few more seconds, but that can be done upgrading specific SR units as well. To me, Dendroid 6-star is more or less as tanky as Behemoth 4-5-star. And Dendroid you can acquire quite easy. I am safe to say Inferno is the strongest in the meta, however, until Zeren is released, as well as the Devil Altar. Currently, as of the making of this video, I believe Stronghold hero Kilga does indeed pack a punch into the meta, making Stronghold quite strong in terms of PvPvS mages. In other words, Soulmate. It varies from server to server, what heroes, units people use. Some servers can be completely different. On my server in some cases a 3-star Kilga beat my 2-star Soulmate and my best tanks in formation. Whereas I didn't even kill a single unit on their side. This is judged only through Pantheon Battle of the Gods, and enemy having Dragon Artifact, My full formation I beat Kilgaz with Dragon Artifact, using my Inferno plus Solmi formation. To summarize, you need to weigh the rewards you can receive, and think about how you can get certain materials. As picking something for very early advantage may not seem as good as picking something that will be better for you in a few days or weeks time. Patience is the game here.